It was a hot summer in the small town for the high school students. The seemingly non-existent air proved a drastic challenge to defend the sweating that afternoon. A man is seen practically fighting for his life with a vending machine that stole his money. It's not his best day. Meanwhile, high school student Zoe and her classmates are suffering away sitting through a German language class. Her teacher is completely oblivious that she is supposed to be teaching a different subject, double history. At the same time, the face-sweating man at the vending machine, Dean, gets the call to take action. He grabs his undesired Fanta and hurries off.
(233) Double history. The teacher talks her German lesson when it's meant to be history. No one tells her she is teaching the wrong lesson. When will she realize?
2:37. We arrive at the scene. I issue a clear warning to the subject.
2:38. The supply teacher asked me to talk for 1 minute on the subject of my family. I can't remember how to say I have one brother because I gave up German in 7th grade.
2:39. The suspect fails to heed my warning, so I take necessary action. The suspect falls to the pavement.
2:39. Ich Herr Brunheiner. I say, "Don't stop," says the supply teacher. "Why are you stopping?" And I say, "You're meant to be teaching us history, miss."
2:40. I turn the suspect over and there's no sign of life, but I still try to resuscitate him to no avail.
The wedding was going to be in a church and everything. And Brody was going to wear a suit for the first time. And Sandra was going to wear white with tiny pearls. And I was going to read out the poem about love. But the door rang. And the policeman said, "Can we come in?" And I wanted to say no. And they stepped in the house and my mom and dad were watching a program about insects.
The advice group said they recommend that we get a pathologist to look at the report. And if the pathologist says...
I don't care what the pathologist says. I want a second postmortem.
Carmen.
Derek, it's a matter of principle as far as I'm concerned.
Do you want a cup of tea?
But the world doesn't work on a matter of principle, does it?
Well, it should.
Well, I'm not saying it shouldn't.
Mom? Dad?
What?
Do you
Do we what?
want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
No thanks, Zoe.
Go on, love. Have a cup of tea.
I don't want a cup of tea. I've had enough bloody tea to drown eternally.
You can actually do that, you know.
I know you can. I know you can. That's why I said it. I'm not completely ignorant, you know.
If you want a second postmortem, you have to apply for it. Just the same as your provisional driver's license. You make an application and then you wait.
He doesn't even look like the man in the bloody photo.
I know he doesn't.
They keep going on about his past, and it's just not relevant. I mean, it's completely irrelevant.
I mean, he did have a history. We can't say he didn't have a history.
No one's denying his history.
But it wasn't that sort of history.
That's what I keep telling them.
I keep saying, look, he was getting married. He was happy.
And he was clean as a whistle. He was clean as a new pin.
When I go back to school, people keep staring at me. I pretend I don't see them, but there's all burning holes in my back. And even the teachers can't take their eyes off me. And everyone speaks in whispery voices. And then the headmaster calls me into his office and puts his hand on my shoulder. He looks into my eyes and tells me that he is very sorry, but even he was hoping I'll start crying and pour my heart out because everyone is fascinated. We have become a fascinating family, and I think that if I wanted, I could have any boy in the school at the moment. Any boy in the whole school.